overview of Global Fund. Okay, thank you, Amit.
It,
So with this, I will start. I will request Breeze and Laura to come forward and take up this session on the overview of Global Fund, its impact, and the importance of the replenishment. Thank you.
okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Aman, for the introduction. And thank you very much for allowing me into your space to be able to present on the Global Fund and the replenishment. It's really an honor to be here and to be amongst young leaders and advocates. We really count on you. We rely on you to have a successful replenishment and also for successful implementation of the activities that will then be put in place. So as you mentioned before, I am Brice Bambar. I'm from the Global Fund to Fight HIV, Tuberculosis, and Malaria. And I'm in the Political and Civil Society Advocacy Department. So technically, I'm not young anymore, but I still consider that I'm young at heart. So it's very great for me to be part of this. So what I'm going to do today is that I will be quickly reminding you what the Global Fund is, the mission of the Global Fund, why the partnership is important. But I will also talk to you a little bit about the impact of the partnership. And then my colleague Laura is from the Youth Council, is going to tell you why it's important to have young people involved in advocacy and what that could potentially look like. I'm going to be sharing my screen now, if that's okay with you. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. Let me see.
I think it's, yeah, we can see. Yeah.
I'm trying to full screen mode. There, perfect.
We can see your screen. You can.
So as I mentioned earlier, I have a very short time to present on something that is very interesting and important to me. So I'm going to go quickly through the slide. Okay, so as a reminder, the Global Fund is a global partnership created to accelerate the end of HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria, and to build a safer and more equitable future for all. It was founded in 2002 as a response to the global health crisis. And here it's very important to mention that if the Global Fund exists, it's really due to the work and the determination and the advocacy of civil society organizations, so of people living affected by the diseases, but also of young people, change makers, and leaders like yourself. So really the partnership exists because of you. So thank you very much for that. And the Global Fund is actually a financing mechanism that works through mobilizing and investing resources in nationally local-led programs. And here, it's very important, you know, you would notice that whenever I talk about the Global Fund, I tend to put an emphasis on the partnership because it is a partnership. It's a partnership of civil society and community organization, of government, of technical partners, of the private sector, and the people affected and living by the diseases. It's all of these people that come together to make the Global Fund what it is right now. So as I mentioned, the organization has been funded in 2002. So that's more than 20 years. And since the creation of the organization, the partnership has saved 65 million lives and reduced the combined death rate from HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria by 63%. 65 million lives. We're talking about 65 million individuals. We're talking about 65 million dreams. We're talking about 65 million aspirations. So that is something that is very important that, you know, we should all be proud of it because we have worked collectively to achieve this very impressive numbers. So now when we look at what that means in terms of the diseases in the countries where the Global Fund invests, since its creation until 2023, death linked to HIV and AIDS dropped by 73%. New HIV infection rates dropped by 61%. And below you see that if there was no investment made through the Global Fund Partnership, there would have been an increase in death and infection. The same thing for tuberculosis and malaria as well. So here we have numbers, we have data that speaks very loudly of the impact of the Global Fund Partnership. Now, when we look at it again in terms of key results, 25 million people have been put on ARVs for the year 2023. 7.1 million people were treated for tuberculosis, and 227 million mosquito nets were distributed. Again, very impressive numbers. Those are, lives that were saved, people that, were given the opportunity to be contributing healthy, functioning members of society. And here we are, the Global Fund, it's a partnership. And to be able to function it, we need money. And for us to get the money, we go through what we call a replenishment. And the organization really relies on voluntary financial contribution, meaning that we go and we talk to the different donors of the organization, and they decide whether or not they want to give us money. So 92% of the funding that we receive comes from government, from G7, G20, implementing or partner countries, and the remaining funding comes from the private sector, foundation, and innovative financing initiative. So the replenishment is happens in a 3-year cycle. So at the start of the replenishment, we publish this document that we call the investment case, which is a document that tells the world how much money is needed to adequately respond to the 3 diseases and what we are going to do with this money. And partners use this document to help them in their advocacy efforts. So once this happened, when we publish the investment case, we start the replenishment campaign, during which at the Global Fund Secretariat, but also our partners like yourself, develop and lead some campaign to help us get the money that we need. And then usually we have what we call the replenishment conference, during which countries, the different countries, come forth and tell us how much money they're willing to contribute to the partnership. And then after that, we go to the implementation phase and to the conversion of these contributions that were made. So now, this year, we're operating in very challenging context. The 8th replenishment is really, really more urgent than ever, because we can see that, there's some health threats and inequalities that are on the rise. And unfortunately, if there are people that suffer from it the most, it's young people. This is a very short overview of what the replenishment is. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I can talk for hours about this, but I'm just giving you a little bit of what the replenishment is. 2025 is the year for the 8th replenishment for us. This webinar is part of the replenishment efforts, the advocacy efforts that we're taking to make sure that we have a fully funded global fund. Then again, for this year, Aman mentioned at the beginning, we need $18 billion. These $18 billion are going to help us fight HIV, tuberculosis, and malaria, save 23 additional million lives, and move a little bit closer to the Sustainable Development Goal. So that's very important. And then what does that mean if we succeed in getting the $18 billion? Like I just mentioned, we'll be able to save 23 million lives. We'll be able to prevent 400 million new infectional cases. And then something that really speaks now is that we'll be able to deliver a return on investment, because again, we're not putting money in the response just for the sake of it, but really because it's an investment. You know, you're investing in people's health, investing in people's future. And, you know, if you put $1 in the Global Fund Partnership, you'll be able to generate $19. So that speaks volume. With $18 billion, we'll be able to generate $323 billion in return over the time period 2027 and 2029. That's really something that is very important. Like I mentioned, I can talk about this for hours, but I don't want to go over my time. So just giving you the bigger picture. And of course, if there's interest to know more about the replenishment itself, I will be more than happy to speak to it at some later stage during a different webinar. But now I'm going to give the floor to my colleague, Laura from the Youth Council, so that she can talk to you about youth advocacy and what it looks like. Thank you. Laura, do you want to come in?
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Brice, for giving the floor. Hello.
Yes, Laura, you are audible. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Brice, for giving me the floor. I'm going to present here how youth can engage in the replenishment effort. First of all, we have to use our voice to raise awareness. Young people can leverage social media, blogs, and community events to spread awareness about political issues. By sharing our personal story and insight, they can highlight the impact of the Global Health Initiative, those educating their peers and encouraging broader community. Secondly, we have to participate in campaigns as we are participating today. It's important for you to participate because we are not only beneficiaries, but we are also actors. So engaging in local and international campaigns allow you to take direct action. This can include joining march, signing petition, or participating in online campaign to advocate on the aid replenishment. And their presence can amplify message and demonstrate collective support for replenishment effort. Also, we have another point for. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Laura.
Yes, another point for youth engagement. Youth is the advocating with decision makers. Youth have also to join the organization, the civil social organization to advocate more in decision with the decision makers. So we have to join CSO. We have to join movement that are carrying out the advocacy to make our voice to be heard. Also, youth have to mobilize. We have to mobilize our community. How to mobilize our community? Youth can act as leaders in their community by organizing workshops, seminars, and outreach programs to engage others in replenishment effort by connecting with diverse groups that can foster a sense of shared responsibilities and motivate collective action toward health and development goals. Also, why are we engaging in advocacy? Why the engagement of youth is
Laura, you are on mute.
okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Are we together, please?
Yeah. Now you're audible. Yes, you are audible now.
Okay. I was also saying that another point is that youth have to mobilize their community. They have to mobilize their community because youth can act as leaders in their communities by organizing workshops, seminars, and outreach programs to engage others in replenishment efforts. By connecting with diverse groups, they can foster a sense of share responsibilities and motivate collective action towards health and development goals. And why are we advocating? Why are the youth advocacy is crucial? The youth advocacy is crucial because youth are not just beneficiaries, they are also change makers. They are also change makers because young people bring innovative ideas and fresh perspectives. They are not just recipients of aid, they are active participants in driving change. Their involvement ensures that solutions are relevant and effective, addressing the specific needs of their generation. So if we are not involved, we can be sure that our specific needs will not be taken into consideration. The other thing is the influence on the political will, and founding decision. With the unique expertise and our story and energy, youth can influence political discussion and founding priorities. Our advocacy effort can sway decision makers to allocate more resources because when youth talk, they talk going through our story, taking our story in front, and carrying advocacy make decision makers to be more sensitive on what we are going to say, and maybe act more than they was to act if it was an adult who acts the who make the advocacy. And like our campaign, I am the impact. The campaign help also youth participate in campaign, help also youth to give their ideas, to put in front their specific needs, and by sharing their experience and success, young people can demonstrate the effectiveness of these initiatives and inspire further investment in health programs. So in summary, youth pupils engagement in replenishment efforts is vital for fostering sustainable change. Their voice, action, and advocacy can significantly impact health, policy, and founding decisions, ultimately leading to a healthier future for all. Thank you. I will give the floor to Breeze to close this part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Laura. So I don't need to speak twice why this is very crucial to have youth voices and leadership in all of these processes. But I just want to close by reminding you that as of this year, there's approximately 1.2 billion young people in the age bracket of 15 to 24 in the world. And the majority of the young population lives in low and middle income countries. I'm talking about countries like myself, Burkina Faso, countries like Amman's, India, countries like Laura, Cameroon. So especially in Africa and in Asia. And looking at the projection, the African continent will see the most significant growth in youth numbers, with over 40% of the world's youth expected to live there by 2050. What does that mean? That means that, you know, youth in Africa and Asia will be central to global development, to health and economic agendas. So it's very important that you are present in that space, that you make your voices heard, that, you know, you tell the world and the leaders what your needs are and how they can like properly address those needs. So, and us being here today already shows of your willingness to do that, of your willingness and eagerness to occupy that space that is rightfully yours. And I really want to thank you for all, you know, the time and effort that you've put into developing this advocacy campaign. And on behalf of the Global Fund, I want you to know that we are here to support you. And we want to thank you for helping us, you know, getting a fully funded Global Fund. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and good luck with the campaign. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Breeze, for putting that angle about 1.2 billion young people across the world. And with this, it reminds me that youth are present now and we are future. and we can bring the change in the landscape of HIV, TB, and malaria. So with this, I just want to request everyone to, if you all can just turn on your camera and we can just take me time and take a picture together. And then we can move forward with the launch of our campaign. Agatha, can I request you to take a screenshot of the pictures, please?
Yes, thank you so much, Aman. Hi, everyone. Please open your camera if you want and if you can. So there are 6 screens. So we are just gonna pause one time. But hold your beautiful, precious young smile for me, please. Okay. First screen, 1, 2, 3. Second screen, 1, 2, 3. And third screen, 1, 2, 3. Fourth screen, 1, 2, 3. Fifth screen, 1, 2, 3. And sixth screen, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Aman.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this call and putting on your cameras and showing your face. That means we all are together in this fight against HIV, TB, and malaria, and the target that we want to achieve, youth fuel 18 billion. So moving forward, I just want to give a presentation, an overview about this campaign. I think overview about this campaign. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is.
Great. Thank you so much. So welcome once again, everyone. Before we reveal the campaign teaser, let's walk you through the heart of this campaign, what it stands for, how it structured, and how you are part of it. So first of all, let me introduce about the campaign. This campaign is led by Unite in partnership with other youth-led organizations like and amazing organizations like YOUNITE Global, Youthrise, the Youthpact, Restlessdevelopment, Global Fund Youth Council, and CS for Me. In leading a powerful campaign to support Global Fund's aid replenishment by harnessing energy, passion, and potential of young people. We believe that storytelling is one of the impactful way to communicate the message. And through our campaign, we will be going to highlight the Global Fund has transformed the lives of communities living with HIV, affected by TB and malaria. Our voice of hope speaks the resilience and change. And okay. By amplifying these stories, we aim to inspire global supporters, donors, countries, and private partners to contribute towards the replenishment, a successful replenishment of $18 billion target and secure our future. Our campaign is built on the idea that every young person carries a story, a powerful enough to drive change. The logo itself reflects unity, diversity, and global connection. I'm the impact is the name of the campaign. It's just not a phrase, it's a declaration. In the global context, we can see that we are launching this campaign at a turning point. We see there are so many things happening around globally with the fundings, with the landscapes of HIV, TB, and malaria. The world needs to act boldly, and young people are stepping up to lead the replenishment effort and with purpose and urgencies. Our vision reflects the heart of our movement, putting young people with lived experience at the forefront of advocacy and accountability. Our key messages are: let youth lead, fund the future by letting youth lead. Our bridge the gap, invest in equity and access. Accountability in justice, make replenishment count. Invest in the future, fund health, fuel hope. Our campaign strategy is grounded in 4 bold demands. This is just isn't about money, it's about justice, it's about inclusion and future proofing our communities. Our campaign components are about storytelling to storytelling. From storytelling to advocacy tool, we are giving young people what they need to drive this campaign from the ground up, online and offline, to globally and locally. Here are some of the components that we have. Like we will be sharing about the stories that Global Fund has impacted, and the investment that has put in into the young people, and the impact that has brought in to the young people's lives. Digital toolkit will be shared, and advocacy brief and webinars will be done. Campaign posters and photo frames are there to use and to spread the awareness among the communities and to the stakeholders and the donors to put in more effort to have a successful 18 billion replenishment. Social media toolkits are there. And then we are mobilizing some of the young people at the country level to have a local action. This is our primary hashtag that we will be using. I am the impact. Hashtag youth fuel 18 billion. Hashtag my global fund story. As we go public, these hashtags will carry our voices across platform. Let's make noise, push for change, and make youth leadership visible. With this, I stop my presentation here and invite some of my colleagues who will be sharing their global fund story. The first person that I want to invite is Adiba Amin, who is based in Pakistan and is a gender specialist and passionate SRHR advocate from Pakistan. She has been actively working with grassroots communities under the PACT Global Fund supported initiative. Adiba Amin, are you there in this call?
Yes, I'm there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please unmute yourself and take the floor.
All right. So everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for taking me on board uh, and giving this strong welcome. With that, when we talk about Global Fund or when we talk about our story as an activist, it is very important for you to have the support you need from the big organizations that can help you to thrive and which can give you resources and opportunities to thrive. So
Hello, Adiba, you're not audible. Hello, Adiba.
of
Adiba, we lost you in between. Can you start again, please?
am I can you hear me now? I'm so sorry, I lost my connection.
Yes, I can hear you now. You can start again.
All right, so sorry. I thought I was audible. So I was first, thank you so much for taking me on board. This is a great opportunity for me, people like young people like me to share their stories. Whenever we do talk about change or impact created by either any source of grant or support provided by Global Fund, it is impactful. When we say that how important it is to have resources and advocacy skills to bring change into your community, first that changes your life. As per Global Fund and my journey, as you have mentioned, I have mentioned that I have been working with the Pact from past 2 years, and through the Pact and with Global Fund support, we were able to engage those communities from across the world. We were able to engage specifically countries in South Asia, Latin America, and Nepal, India, to bring change. Change in the sense we engage them for HIV awareness, for their sexual related health rights issues. Also, this was able to create a cohesion between communities. We were able to bring youth clubs across different countries. We were able to engage more than 500 plus youth on with us internationally. So this was all great. If it would be easy if you would ask me any specific question you would want I need to answer specifically.
Yes, Adiba. I just wanted to know how Global Fund investment has impacted your life, how that has created a change in your lives.
So, because of Global Fund, the initiatives they do designed for young people, specifically young women, to support them in their education and to support them in their health and other professions. So, we have been working actively to not only with me, with other young people, to have people from equal diverse communities. We have them on board, like we have different communities, marginalized communities, to represent their voices. And due to Global Fund investment, I was able to participate in international conferences. I was able to participate in ICPD 30 in Bangladesh, where I was able to be a speaker, where I shared that how in South Asia, rural communities are suffering from basic health issues.
Thank you so much, Adiba, for that information and to explain us about how Global Fund investment has impacted your lives and empowered your leadership to lead the change. And with this, I just want to go to our next speaker, Emmanuel. Emmanuel is an youth advocate from Zimbabwe. He's a person who has been working into the rural area of the Zimbabwe for the people who are affected by TB, and his aim is to see a world free from TB. Emmanuel, if you're here, please come, please unmute yourself and you can talk about your experience.
Okay, I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you're audible.
All right, a pleasant afternoon to you all. I'm Emmanuel from Zimbabwe, a member of the Unite Zimbabwe Partnership. So I'm a community worker, basically. My work is to see a better world free from TB. For me, TB is kind of personal because I lost my aunt. She succumbed to TB. And when she succumbed, the whole society thought we were all infected. So it got to me a lot. It was hurtful. But then with the knowledge I got, my sole purpose was to share this knowledge. And when I found out about the One Impact platform through DEMT, it made my work easier and to make my work more flexible, because through the One Impact application, I was able to impact more youths and more people. As for my country, One Impact is universal in terms of language. It is also found in the local language. It teaches people on how they can be treated. It helps people access in the nearby health facilities. So for me, through One Impact or through this global funding initiative that helps us in our country, it has proven to be of great significance to us, as it helps even through the acquisition of TB drugs. And now with the funding going, it's a little bit tricky, as some clinics have run out of TB drugs, and it's kind of painful for me is from a personal perspective. So I really wish the funding could be continued. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for sharing that information about how One Impact application has impacted your life, which was supported by CFCS through Global Fund. I understand that, it should be continued funding. And in this scenario where things are not stable, we all are advocating for stable funding. And with this, I just want to go to our next speaker to talk about their Global Fund story. I invite Juliana Sokol. She's a young drug user activist who is passionate about health and rights advocacy for the community. Juliana, if you're there, please unmute yourself.
Hello, hello. Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
thank you.
you're audible.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I am very grateful for the opportunity. Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share my Global Fund story. My name is Juliana Shoko. I'm a 27-year-old woman who resides in Zimbabwe, Bulawayo. I'm a former drug user. The only thing I take now is caffeine products, mainly coffee and energy drinks. I was introduced to Global Fund last year when I was invited to be part of Elevating Youth Voices, which is a project being done by Youthrise International in partner with several implementing organizations in 8 countries across the world, and my country, Zimbabwe, being one of them. I now understand advocacy and statistics on drug use. I've been empowered to be able to facilitate at community level, to discuss challenges we face as young people who use drugs. Through the project training I've been getting, I have acquired knowledge and links to help me and other young people to expand our knowledge on the Global Fund ecosystem and how to engage on it. Since being introduced to the concept on harm reduction, I now have the capacity to engage and lobby on issues to deal with policy reform in my country. And if given the opportunity, I'm able to speak on behalf of people, young people who use drugs. I can also further share with them that harm reduction is not about enabling drug use, but it's about saving lives. And most people do not get that concept. They think just because people are taking substances, they should not be allowed to have a voice. And it is a very, very, very sensitive topic because most drug users are very silent. So I am very honored to be given the privilege to help young drug users to be able to engage the Global Fund ecosystem in spaces whereby drug users are silenced and not seen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliana, for sharing your experience of. I think someone is speaking. Please mute yourself. Uh, Thank you so much, Juliana, for kind of sharing your experience. Yes, we all know and we are aware that people, those who use drug or injecting drug, are always left behind into the intervention and providing the services, and especially when it comes to harm reduction. And with this campaign, we will be also highlighting how people who use drug are vulnerable to other diseases. And with this, I just want to move to other speaker, Amit Singh Gusain. Amit Singh Gusain is an passionate PLHIV advocate from India with over 8 years of experience in HIV and TB landscape. Beginning his journey as a volunteer at a grassroots CBO, he has grown into a recognized youth leader with expertise in capacity building, policy, and strategy development. He's also leading the country chapter of Unite and a steering committee member of Unite Global. Amit, please unmute yourself and take the space.
Yes, am I audible, Aman?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you everyone. My name is Amit Singh. I hope you are able to hear me, and I'm able to be seen. Okay, so hi everyone, this is my Global Fund story. I'm Amit, and I proudly call myself as a byproduct of Global Fund support. So here is my story, but it will be a little bit long. So my name is Amit Singh. I'm from India. I was born with HIV, but not knowing my status until I get 13. I lost my mother. I lost my father because of AIDS. After my father passed away, we were left with nothing but with HIV status, debt, stigma, and deep judgment behavior from my family, my neighborhood, and everywhere. So my stepmother, who shouldered the entire burden of our family with 4 members, she was hardening for manage everything, and we are going through a financial crunches. We are having to manage day-to-day life survival needs. It was a hard situation for us. And even the bigger challenge was us is stigma that was done by our family members and neighbor. So in search of some mental health support and psychological counseling, she joined a PLHIV group for counseling and peer support, and then became an active member of that group. Later on, she joined this organization CBO as an outreach worker, where she used to earn 3,400 a month, which is approx $40 a month, and that was a sole earning for our family, which is 4 members in a family and getting only $40 a month. Since I was a restless child, I was struggling silently with challenges. I could not put this into word. Sorry, can you please unmute yourself? Or so sorry. Huh. So since I was a restless child, I was struggling silently with challenges. I couldn't put this into word. I faced deep psychological distress, internalized stigma, and harsh side effect of ART medicine. My friends, my colleagues often make fun of me, and nearly it take 3 years I to get out of this. I feel trapped in the world of pain and confusion when I was in my 13, 14, 15 age. I constantly question myself, will I ever live a normal life? Is there anything more to look forward to in this world? But one day everything began change when I joined Global Fund supported program, where I met others like me, someone of my age, some are more younger than me, who are living joyfully despite of their own challenges. That gave me a hope. I realized I wasn't alone, and more importantly, I could live a happy life. Through that program, I received career guidance, peer support, nutritional help, and emotional encouragement. Slowly, of all this help, rebuild my confidence, my courage. From beginning skinny, malnourished guy filled with a doubt, I grew into a proud, empowered young leader ready to shape my own future. This is my journey from my childhood, unaware of his diagnostic, to a young leader shaping national response is nothing. It's just like a miracle for me and for my family. Thank you, Global Fund, not just for changing my life, but supporting my family and hundreds of young children like me who can now live a life with hope, confidence, dignity. And thank you so much for investing in community. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Amit, for that power-packed, impactful story that Global Fund has impacted your life. And that is the reason this campaign is important, that we want to bring that storytelling of the community, that how the community has impacted their life, that experience that Global Fund has brought into the community. And that is why the campaign's name is I Am the Impact, with the tagline saying, My Global Fund Story. And now, the moment we all have been waiting for, this teaser bring our campaign to life through visual, voice, and the collective spirit of youth advocacy. Let's watch I Am the Impact teaser video. So friends, this was the teaser video for the campaign. And now we are moving towards a very important section called as, it is an interactive panel section called as Why Youth Advocacy Matters. And to lead this, I would like to invite Faith from Y Plus Global, who will be moderating this panel. Faith, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please take the
Okay,
floor and moderate the session.
thank you. Thank you so much, Aman. My name is Onufe Tebere from Y Plus Global. I serve as the Gender Equality Fund Ambassador for Nigeria. So I was nominated by Y Plus Global to join this campaign. I know you might wonder what is Y Plus Global. Y Plus Global stands for Global Network of Young People Living with HIV. They are officially registered in the Netherlands. And also one of their mission and objective is that Y Plus seeks to raise funds for global advocacy work and youth representation in key policy spaces. So that is why they are part of this campaign, because they want to see how best they can support in this advocacy. And also as the Gender Equality Fund Ambassador here in Nigeria, Global Fund supported us to see how we can push for women and girls to be part of this advocacy effort in ensuring that women and girls have spaces when it comes to HIV, TB, and malaria in the country. So you see the reason why Global Fund is a key partner for us, and we are happy to be here today. So today I'll be moderating a section and I'll be inviting my colleague. If you can hear me, you can just drop an icon so that I understand that everyone is in the same direction as mine. So today I want to invite Sadie Brown. Sadie, if you're online, can you say hi? Sadie is from Youthrise. Youthrise is actually a youth-led network. So Sadie, if you're on, can you please speak? So I'll be asking Sadie if you are beautiful. So I'll be asking you some questions. You know you're from Youthrise, so I want to find out from you the work you've been doing, and also how can we work together to see how we can advocate and advocate in this campaign, to see how we can also partner with other youth-led organizations in ensuring that the Global Fund supports community mobilization, and why is it important for youth-led network to advocate for this campaign. So I'm going to take it in a two forms so that it's easier for you. The first question is, youth advocates and partners when it comes to discussing important issues. So what is the importance of youth advocacy in this Global Fund campaign?
Thank you so much. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Faith. Hello, everyone. I am Sadie Brown. I am proud to share insights from the work that I did here in South Africa. It was an impactful youth-led initiative called YouMatter, and I was working alongside amazing co-leads who are Munira Katangole and Kamkhelo Moliani, both South African, and we were coming from different designations and different backgrounds to collaborate on a specific approach on how we could enhance the work of the people who are using drugs. So we collaborated on a powerful journey of youth advocacy around HIV, harm reduction, and stigma in Soweto. This was a part of the Global Fund Youth Advocacy Small Grants Program. Quoting from Juliana's powerful presentation, harm reduction is not just about enabling people, it's about saving lives. This was at the core of our project. We wanted to create a safe space for people who were participating in our project. Young people are directly affected by the issues that we advocate for, from access to HIV services to navigating stigma and healthcare systems that often exclude or misunderstand us. It is through advocacy that we are able to shift narratives, we are able to influence policies, and we are able to build systems that truly serve our realities. It gives us the language, the confidence, and the tools to demand better and to create peer-driven solutions that are rooted in our lived experiences. I worked with Munira and Kamugelo, and we showed the magic that happens when youth leaders combine passion, lived experience, and community love. Our different strengths allowed us to co-create a safe space for bold 18 young people, a space where vulnerability met empowerment. We designed and facilitated every part of the workshop together, from the clinic simulations to the World Cafe stations. We made sure that participants didn't just receive information, but they also co-led conversations. It was through the support from SSDP International, through Youthrise and the Global Fund, that we were able to launch a 6-week advocacy campaign with a 1-day workshop as the highlight. Out of this space, we created micro projects, one which was on the political advocacy initiative to lobby for harm reduction services. The second one was a youth art collective to use murals and performance as tools for change. We also decided to work towards creating a community awareness campaign using peer outreach and social media. Each small grant received funding to do this, and this was how we were able to implement our project. Participants left the space feeling more confident with an increase in understanding of U equals U. We spoke about harm reduction. They took ownership and assumed leadership roles. 5 of them are now ambassadors of our project, which is YOUNITE in Joburg. And despite challenges like languages and tight budgets, what stood out was resilience and the power of youth-led spaces. Youth advocacy matters because it transforms recipients into designers, into leaders, into healers. The YOUNITE workshop was not just an event, it was a movement starter. We are young, we are informed, we are here to lead change for ourselves, for our peers, and the communities that we call home. Thank you so much, Faith.
Sadie, thank you so much for the fine work you've been doing in your country. I am really proud of you. So it shows that Global Fund has really supported the communities in mobilization and in different programs. And saying that this is youth-led is really amazing. So in your comment, you talked about harm reduction, and you talked about how young people have benefited from this amazing work. And some are currently serving as ambassadors of that program. So it shows that Global Fund has really impacted in lots of lives. And it shows that without funding, trust me, we'll not be able to do all these beautiful works. And I'm happy that everyone on this call is here, and I know 1 or 2 persons must have benefited from Global Fund. So now it's a collective effort that we come together to campaign and see how we can lend our voice in this. So thank you, Sadie. Next on my list is Surule from CS4Me. CS4Me stands for Civil Society for the Elimination of Malaria. So CS4Me is a partner with also YPlus Global on this Gender Equality Fund. So they are like a sister organization. And welcome, Surule. If you're hearing me, can you speak out?
Thank you very much, Faith. Thank you to
Yeah.
give me the floor.
Okay, welcome.
Yes.
So you just tell us what you've been doing, your work, and how Global Fund has supported community mobilization for your organization. Thank you. Go on.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It is truly an honor to speak today at the launch of the Global Fund 8 Replenishment campaign, led by Youth to fully fund the Global Fund. My name is Soren Gifo, and I'm Program Officer at Impact Santé Afrique, which hosts the Secretariat of the Global Platform CS4Me, CS Civil Society for Malaria Elimination, bringing together nearly 1900 CSOs involved in the fight against malaria in 48 countries. in Africa and Asia. You are here to discuss something fundamental, the transformative power of youth-led advocacy, especially in the fight against malaria and other diseases, and how partners like the Global Fund are supporting this essential momentum. Why is the voice of youth so essential? First and foremost, youth offer a fresh perspective on the world, free from certain traditional frameworks. They often have the ability to identify problems and innovative ways and propose creative and practical solutions. Take malaria, for example, young people, youth, especially children, are often among the most affected. This gives them to the youth enable legitimacy to advocate based on life realities. And this is nothing new. History has shown us that youth have always been the driving force behind major social movements, whether in health, climate action, or civil rights. They know how to mobilize, adapt, innovate, and harness technology to amplify their voices and reach broader audiences. Another key point, peer-to-peer advocacy. Who better to speak to youth than other youth people? Whether it is for prevention, testing, or access to health services, youth advocates are powerful and effective messengers within their community. In CS for me, we are when we went to do advocacy, we try to make sure that our civil is the right, because when you do advocacy and you don't target the right civil, your advocacy will not good. More importantly, involving youth people today is an investment in tomorrow's leadership, building informed, committed citizens who can provide long-lasting solutions. And you know that the Global Fund is truly early in community mobilization. We thank you to the Global Fund, who understood that communities and especially youth must be at the heart of the response. Its support goes far beyond funding. We know that the Global Fund concretely support youth engagement, funding youth-led or youth-focuses community initiative, ensuring that programs are truly aligned with the real needs of community. The Global Fund building youth capacity, encouraging youth participation in country coordinating mechanisms where national funding priorities are decided. Another way, the Global Fund promoting equity, which a particular focus on vulnerable population to ensure that no one is left behind. Thank you to support of the Global Fund. We are being heard, empowered, and equipped. Now it's our turn to go further. Let's continue to organize, speak up, propose, and advocate boldly. Together, let's make youth advocacy a cornerstone in the fight to eliminate malaria and other major diseases. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Theyouthpact, for such a fine conclusion and presentation. So, Global Fund have done a lot in the fight to eliminate HIV, TB, and malaria. So it will be great now that it is our turn as young people to come together by using our voices to advocate. I always hear that young people are the future. We are no more the future, we are the present. It is now. So it is now that we need to harness our voices and ensure that we advocate for something affecting us, affecting our communities. And it's good that yes, for me, it's doing a great job. I'm seeing how Global Fund have been in the forefront to support all this process. So thank you so much. So we have Bella on our list. She's from the Global Fund Youth Council. Bella, if you're online, please can use unmute and tell us what you've been doing and how Global Fund supports community mobilization. So also want to hear from you. You have 3 minutes for this. Thank you.
Yes.
Bella, good.
Thank you,
Go on.
Faye. Yeah, so as a representative of the Global Fund Youth Council, I carry not only just my voice, but also the voice of young people affected HIV, TB, and malaria in the world, and to make sure our priorities are seen, heard, and funded, because like as we all said, meaningful change start when the youth are no longer seen as beneficiaries, but also as a leader and expert in our own right. And in the aid replenishment of the Global Fund, we also not just asking for the fund, the money. We're asking for trust, for inclusion, and for bold investment in youth-led solution, because we are part of the solution itself. And if we are not at the table, the response will never truly reflect our needs. And I think we also have the limitation and the youth council, so we don't, we only have many young people, but we expected, to also heard some voices from another and 8 countries to, represent their voice. But as if you affiliate with all organization, you can reach out to us and collaborate with us. And also, I think this is just the beginning of the processes, and we have so many things will be happen after the replenishment. So I think this is a good start for us as a youth to the campaign for the replenishment, but we also need to make sure that we are not done only in this campaign, but we also should, track and also engage in all the processes in the Global Fund. So I think that is the important part of the community that can mobilize and also engage in the processes. So I think it's important that we also focus on now as we began the replenishment, but again, we also need to engage in all the processes, because sometimes we are live in the realities into spaces that youth and young people too often speak about, but without us. So it's important for us to engage, and as the part of the youth council, we also open if you guys want to collaborate, or if you want to do some discussion. And we also have some work, especially in the engagement of the CCM in the country level. So we are also want to make the youth and young people more engaged in the CCM, and it's because it's crucial. And sometimes youth are still left behind in some countries, so we are moving in that moment. And I think we are needs to be together, and it will be make us stronger. Thank you.
Bella, thank you so much for such a fine statement. Your words are so encouraging. You're like, go there, do this, be part of the process. And not just inviting us in the table, but actually meaningful youth inclusion is really important, because if we're not in those spaces, our voices cannot be heard. So it is really critical that during these replenishments, we have young people participate across all levels of the interventions, and to see how best we can talk about our issues, because we are part of the change. So if you're looking for change and you're not engaging young people, youth-led organization, trusting them that yes, they can do this, then trust me, the program won't go well. So it is important that all young persons in different countries engage in their system to see what is happening and to see how best they can be part of this process. So thank you once again. And the last person on my list is Marianne from the Youthpact. So Marianne, welcome to the platform. Can you hear me? And if you can hear me, please just go ahead to talk about what you've done and to see how best Global Fund can support community mobilization and young people. What can we also do in our own part to support this process? So go on.
Thank you so much, Faith, and thank you for the opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Miriam Ombuku. I am the chair of the steering committee for the Youthpact. For me, I believe that, as you had said, on young people not just being the future, being the present. So I think the most reason as to why young people should be engaged in advocacy is because without fully funding us or even engaging the young people, we cannot end the epidemic. The first presentation, we were provided with the demographic status of how young people are disproportionately affected with HIV, TB, and malaria. But that is just to say that we are not just a demographic statistics. We are the most affected, the most underserved, and yet when given the chance, we can be the most innovative actors in global health. And even this webinar really proves that young people can do the work and young people can deliver in ending TB, HIV, and malaria. So in all of this, in order to ensure that we are sustaining this impact, it is important for every other partner that they engage us as partners and not just to praise us as young people and leave us not to engage in any conversation. In all honesty, I have sat in rooms where million-dollar decisions are made about young people's lives. I have seen what happens when our voices are present versus when they're absent. The difference is literally life and death. And as a matter of life and as a matter of speaking about the future need to be funded. The future, our voices really needs to be invested in because that is very sustainable. If we ensure that in the investment of youth advocacy, it builds a pipeline where we young people are informed, we are engaged, and will continue to work on these issues as we age. And this will still create a sustainable momentum for long-term change and ensure continuity in advocacy effort. This eighth replenishment is just not a financial moment. It is a moral commitment, a commitment to equity, justice, and to a future where young people are not left behind. With that said, I am calling upon every other young person in this webinar to join us in this campaign. The eighth replenishment really requires effort for all of us young people. With the shrinking funding baskets, there's still a lot that needs to be done. We have garnered a lot of success over the years, but that still does not mean that we should not ensure that we are strengthening these efforts. We still need each other, and the pandemic is still here with us. So if one life is lost, that is one too many. Kindly, as young people, ensure we are part of this My Global Fund story, and I am the impact. Because in one way or the other, we have been able to get the successes. We have been able to live the life. We have been able to not get infected because a man got his treatment that I was not able to be infected. My partner was able to encourage me to take my ARVs, enough for me not to infect them because Global Fund put in resources to ensure that I can be able to get the psychosocial support that I need and the ARVs that I need. Thank you so much, and over to you, Faith.
Thank you so much for such a beautiful climax for the panel. So young people, I'm happy that you're here on this call and you've heard everything people have said. The young people in their specialty, they are young people working in the HIV, TB, and malaria response. I want to say thank you to all the panelists. and for the way you hit the nail on the head. You actually went straight to the point. So to also add to what Dihif said, so young people, we need to engage in advocacy efforts, knowing that as young persons, we play a critical role in shaping the global response to end AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria. So when we do this, it shows that we want people to fund the global fund, because this will help to provide life-saving medicines, programs, and also services for everyone. So you don't need to wait till you're HIV positive before you start talking about HIV. And you don't need to be affected by tuberculosis before you start speaking up on TB-related issues and also malaria. So you have to look at the young children, you have to look at the women in your community. So it is now time to join us, join our campaign to see how we can harness our voices together. You know, there's a saying that says when we come together, we tend to go far, but if you're walking alone, you just walk fast, but you're not going far. So join our campaign. Thank you. I come to an end. I want to hand over the mic to Aman. Aman, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faith, for moderating this amazing panel. It was amazing. Thank you so much for all the speakers who have been speaking about why youth advocacy matters. And of course, with the inclusion of young people into the landscape of advocacy for HIV, TB, and malaria, it's very essential and important. Like everyone are saying that we are present, and also we have to secure our future. And this is why this webinar and this mobilization of young people is about together, about their stories, their experiences, and how Global Fund has impacted their lives through the investment. That is why I say hashtag Youth Fuel 18 billion. And moving forward, it is now we have spoken and talked about how and why youth advocacy matters. So with this, some of the things that we have developed as an advocacy tool is, I just want to share my screen and show you all that we have a separate website for this campaign. You can access that campaign anytime, anywhere, whenever you want. And in that website, you will see some of the tools that we have uploaded. I hope my screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, it is.
Thank you. So there will be, this website is available for everyone to access. It has information about what is that primary hashtag that we are using, how you can engage, what are the key messages that we are amplifying, and the campaign toolkit that we have released, how you can be involved into this advocacy. What are those tools that you can use? Here we have a messaging to post link where you can use this post link to kind of share on your social media with the specific messages that we have, which is youth-led. This, you can download this and you can upload on your social media platform and tag your governments, tag donors, and emphasize and encourage them to support technically and financially to the replenishment. And we also have a Zoom background, which you can see some of us are using the Zoom background that it is also when you're getting into a meeting and engaging with the stakeholders or donors or the communities, you can use this in your background and you can amplify the name of the campaign. And with this campaign and this name, we can amplify and involve more and more people into this campaign. Also, we have an email signature. People, those who use email, of course, everyone in this meeting are using emails, and this is the email signature that we have developed within one hashtag and very sweet and simple message saying that Youth Fuel 18 billion. When all the young people come together, I'm sure we all can and do something impactful and bring the change into the replenishment, and we can meet the successful replenishment of 18 billion. And then we have a social media profile. This social media profile is all about you, people, those who are impact, the global fund that has impacted your life. Please use this social media template where you can use your photographs into this template, and you can use as your profile picture on WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram. And there are some steps how you can use this. there are different designs that however you like it. So please do use this and upload on your social media using our hashtag, any of the hashtag that you want, and tag us. Youth Fuel 18 billion, I am the impact, hashtag my global fund stories. So with this is the powerful toolkit that we have developed, and I want you all to use this each and everywhere wherever you want, and use the hashtag and contribute into the replenishment. And with this, we are at our final segment. I will invite my colleague Ruby to give a closing remark and give a call to action for this webinar and campaign launch. Thank you.
Thank you, Aman. Am I audible? Yes, great. So yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity to take part in the campaign, and also, provide these closing remarks for what's been a fantastic webinar. I feel really inspired to take what I've learned here and bring it forward, and reinforces, the belief and the knowledge that young people really are the future. We are the leaders and we're the change makers. So I'm going to run down. I took some brief notes. I can't obviously include everything that we've just heard, but I just will go through some key things that came out for me. And also as an introduction, my name is Ruby Lawler. I'm the Executive Director of Youthrise, which is an international network of young people who use drugs and young people affected by punitive drug policies. Just as a little who I am. So we heard in the beginning from Brice from Global Fund. The main key thing I think came from the messaging that he was sharing was the 65 million lives saved since the Global Fund has been created. I think that that's so key. That number, it's easy to say numbers, but that's 65 million people, souls that have been supported and saved with the Global Fund. So I think that that's always really key for us to hold on to. That number doesn't just mean, it's not just some statistic, it's something really core to what we can continue to achieve and what more we can do. Laura from the Youth Council also provided some really fantastic remarks. Some key things that came out for me were that youth act as leaders in their community, motivating collective action towards health and development goals, and that youth advocacy is so crucial because youth are the change makers, because young people bring innovative ideas and fresh perspectives. From the My Global Fund story segment, we heard about how Global Fund has supported young people to become community leaders and to build capacities to enact change locally, nationally. Global Fund is supported in accessing services and improving not just their lives, but the lives of their family and communities, and the hope that Global Fund really gives to someone's life. From the interactive panel, we also heard about the innovation of young people, the ability young people have to mobilize and adapt, and how powerful that is. The importance of peer-to-peer advocacy, young people to young people, engaging, and then the importance of those adults in engaging us as partners, and not just praising us as young people. That was something really key that came out. The difference between this, and I think this was really interesting, is the difference between young people being in the room when decisions are made or not is life and death. And one of the speakers, I didn't note down the exact name, but it was a really powerful statement, I think. And that in all, our futures need to be invested in. So that's my little summary of the session. So much more was said, of course, but I was just all I could extract within this time frame. I also wanted to just bring us back to the key messages again while we finish off this webinar. So the first key message being let youth lead, fund the future by letting youth lead. We've heard a little bit about what that means, but if we look at the local advocacy we can do in regards to this message, we can push for dedicated youth inclusive funding streams, for community-based interventions led by young people, and youth involvement in grant-making bodies and monitoring systems. Number 2, bridge the gaps, invest in equity and access. Locally, we can advocate for investments that ensure equitable access to services, mental health support, and community-led monitoring, and ensure that the national strategic plans reflect the rights-based, gender transformative, and inclusive approach detailed in the investment case that Brice was talking about in the beginning. Then 3, accountability is justice, and make a replenishment count. Nationally, we can use this economic argument of delivering of $1 invested delivers $19 in return. Bree spoke about this, and you can of course learn more from the campaign's website that Aman has shared. This economic argument is really key to urge the ministries of finance, parliamentarians and business leaders to pledge both financially and politically, and to do so in a transparent and accountable way. And our final key message being invest in the future, fund health and fuel hope. And locally, we need to frame replenishment as a tool to bolster your country's progress towards universal health coverage, climate resilient systems, and inclusive pandemic preparedness, and the broader health systems wide. Finally, as Aman just shared, we have a fantastic, beautiful campaign launch toolkit that's been developed by YOUNITE, the leaders of this campaign. So really encouraging you all to click around the website, see what's there, utilize the tools like the email signature, the Zoom background, like you can see that we have, changing the social media picture as well. And then really importantly, I think most importantly out of this webinar is to take time to share your Global Fund story. I think the more that we all talk about how Global Fund has impacted our lives and what it means for us to have had Global Fund support, the more people will see the importance of investing and what it actually looks like for young people to be supported. So if anyone wants to share their Global Fund story, I think I saw some people in the chat saying that they had a Global Fund story to share. So please use the hashtags that Aman has shared. They're on the website, and Aman has shared them a few times throughout this call. Maybe you can put them in the chat again now. Use the hashtags, My Global Fund Story, share on social media, tag YOUNITE and any of the partners as part of the campaign, and we'll make sure that this is amplified and key stakeholders are seeing your Global Fund story. So I just want to leave it there. Thank you so much again for organizing the webinar, YOUNITE, Aman and Amit and everyone. And thank you everyone for attending. It's been great.
Yay, we have done it. And I'm so happy that we have more than 100 people joining this webinar, and they are throughout have been the part of this webinar till now. And it's 103 till now. And I saw that it was 134 in between, and 100 people have consistently been the part of this webinar. Thank you very, very much, everyone. A special thanks to Breeze, who have been supporting and guiding us through this, and our Youth Replenishment Working Group members who have been doing their best to kind of finalize this campaign, font, design, color, key messages. Thank you very much, everyone. And of course, my colleague Amit, who has been running around for so many things 110 times to get the one thing done. So each and everyone, thank you, everyone. And we will be in touch and see you all again. Stay engaged on our social media. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye and thank you.
Bye, Aman.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye, everyone.